Okay. Hi, how are you?
Oh, beautiful. Now here we are in wonderful Mongolia.
Yeah.
This is Tom Elamin, and I'm here with Dogon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is awesome.
Thank you for visiting Mongolia. And how you feel about it?
Oh, this is beautiful. I mean, it fulfilled all my expectations,
Uh-huh.
and it showed me things I didn't expect.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the energy here is very high. Now I can
Mm-hmm.
see why they call it the land,
Mm-hmm.
uh, the land next to the sky.
Uh-huh.
This is awesome. And as
Yeah.
you can see, the mountains back there, they got a lot of plains and open space. And for a person like myself who's on this journey, and they got all these sunny days too that's over the plain. I mean, there's just a lot of energy flow. This is awesome. I love it.
Nice. Thank you so much. And then also we did lots of energy practice yesterday, and then I feel lots of energy from you. I appreciate it.
Oh, we was
So
working.
can you talk a little bit about your journey? Because he's breatharian.
Solar breatharian I put.
Solar breatharian, yeah.
And the reason I put solar on the front of it
Mm-hmm.
is to remind people that when we're dealing with all the energies on the planet,
Mm-hmm.
that the sun is
Mm-hmm.
our primary energy source.
And how did you know that? How did like through meditation that our sun is the minor one?
Well, first of all, it's
Mm-hmm.
just obvious
Mm-hmm.
because everything a human being eats, whether if
Mm-hmm.
it's vegetation or animals,
Mm-hmm.
depend on the sun
Mm-hmm.
to make photosynthesis for plants and trees.
Mm-hmm.
Then we use trees for houses, and then we use oil today, which is trapped sunlight.
Mm-hmm.
Even when you make fires,
Mm-hmm.
you're releasing a chemical energy that's in it, but it got there from the sun, that solar energy.
Mm-hmm.
So I could go on and on and on.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just obvious on that level.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're in an age where we got equipment and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
this, where you can measure the radiation and all technology that you use, radio waves,
Mm-hmm.
microwaves, where we get
Mm-hmm.
the cell phone,
Mm-hmm.
infrared waves, visible light. I could
Mm-hmm.
go on and on and on. That's why people got to get educated.
Mm-hmm.
All of that is from the sun.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
It's
Yeah,
all
that's
light.
wonderful. And also the the thing most like impressive thing was I didn't notice that uh we think if we are breatharian we don't eat nothing, but actually we are eating the sun energy, we are eating the air, yeah.
Ah, she caught it. Right. You're just changing energy sources.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. And that helps with the mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Because when people hear about a person's living with no food and nothing at
Mm-hmm.
all, yes, that's impossible.
Mm-hmm.
All beings on the planet need
Mm-hmm.
some type of energy source
Mm-hmm.
on how they're getting it.
Mm-hmm.
They got different digestive systems, different ways, but the
Mm-hmm.
game is still energy.
Mm-hmm.
So on they're on this process and journey,
Mm-hmm.
and I got to be real specific as you lead people into this because you got to be able to see it. You got to use common sense
Mm-hmm.
and how to transition to get more
Mm-hmm.
of the alternative energy sources that seem invisible or subtle. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what spiritual practices were designed for.
Mm-hmm.
See, we're already using them just by you breathing.
Mm-hmm.
Breath is more important than what you're eating a day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, breath. Actually, breath is actual food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, you'll die without eating before breathing before eating and not drinking nothing.
Mhm.
So I mean, it's important, but you can increase it, and
Mhm.
that's what we mean by you're getting more of an energy source. So the other one, you don't need that much of it, and
Mhm.
that's just one example.
Mhm.
And of course, meditation. It's a big word all over the planet, but not to toot my own horn or nothing, but I
Mhm.
am.
Mhm.
uh, most people are in their head. So
Mhm.
when I hear say meditation is the foundation, and when I do retreats and are around people,
Mhm.
it don't matter how long I've been meditating, they say, you got a point there. I can feel this energy, I can feel this flow, just like
Mhm.
you started out.
Mhm.
This is what I'm talking about. And
Mhm.
you need to grow that.
Yeah. And also you mentioned about the head, right?
Hmm.
And then now our mind, we are like too much in our mind, and then it's also called ego, yeah?
Yep.
And what was your first time that you mentioned that, oh my God, like the ego is not my real life? What was that moment?
Well, let's go back to that ego because
Uh-huh.
actually I teach a little, I got a spin to it. It's different than what people say it is.
Okay.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So the ego, what
Mm-hmm.
is it? So we
Mm-hmm.
won't be mythical. We got to pinpoint it.
Mm-hmm.
An ego is just a person.
Mm-hmm. Just a person. Okay.
It's a person. So
Identification.
everybody has an
Okay.
ego. All animals, a dog is a person. It
Okay.
has an ego.
That's new. Okay.
A rat, a tree has an ego.
Oh, really?
Now, why would I say that? One time, this tree was in this field and this blossoming, but
Okay.
these people decided to build a house.
Okay.
So they built a house in a location
Mm-hmm.
where when the sun rises, it blocks the sun from the tree.
Okay.
Now, of course, they're not thinking about that, but
Okay.
the tree, as it's growing,
Mm-hmm.
it started to grow around the house so it could try to get to the sun.
Okay.
So that means it cares about its life, its identity.
Uh-huh.
I'm not just no dead tree.
Mm-hmm.
I want the sun.
Okay.
I'm not here just to look pretty for you to look at in the
Mm-hmm.
backyard.
Mm-hmm.
So so ego is not evil or bad. It's
Okay.
just a person. But what is a person?
Uh-huh.
Now a person is
Mm-hmm.
a program.
Mm-hmm.
Just like a computer, you're running off a program.
Mm-hmm.
So not only humans, what
Mm-hmm.
makes us human is because we uh we have behaviors and habits
Mm-hmm.
of a human.
Mm-hmm.
So that means we're under the human program. A
Mm-hmm.
dog is going to be a dog no matter how good you train it. It's
Uh-huh.
going to have its instinct or its program of a dog. That's a dog ego.
Mm-hmm.
I hope this makes sense.
It makes sense. So,
Oh, go ahead. Well, let me finish now
okay.
because you asked me about when I identified this ego. When I identified I was a program,
Mm-hmm.
what program I'm under, how my habits, how my life is going. Now it was an opportunity
Mm-hmm.
to change that programming.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're doing, you're not getting rid of ego or killing ego.
Mm-hmm.
You're redirecting and giving new orders and
Mm-hmm.
new program.
So
It's part of you. Nature gave it to you.
basically it means if you are programmed that there is some programmer, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
wants to maybe like manipulate you or give you the program, the way you are thinking. And
Mm-hmm.
it means you don't like when you are like around ego and you're not realizing it, you are kind of uh
Acceptable
some
to
some
programming. But listen at this, okay? You
mm-hmm.
know me, I'm a positive person.
Okay.
Everybody's under mind control. That don't mean good or bad.
Okay.
If you got your driver's license,
Mm-hmm.
you are learning how to drive properly
Mm-hmm.
so everybody else can be safe around you.
Mm-hmm.
So we need you to get that programming
Mm-hmm.
to do the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's mind control.
Mm-hmm.
That's on a positive level.
Yeah, positive level.
Now there's other mind controls that will make you think you're something you're not. So you could do something and make it think it's normal even though it's harming you and
Mm-hmm.
others. But that person's under a program. So there's both bad and good,
Mm-hmm.
but it's these words we're using because I'm
Mm-hmm.
got to teach these words so we
Uh-huh.
just don't look negative and the world's dark.
Uh-huh.
No, it's not. So when I changed, going back when I changed my ego,
Mm-hmm.
I had to what? Get under another mind control.
Mm-hmm.
Let's reverse it. What am I going to allow to control my mind?
Mm-hmm.
Mind control, control my mind.
Mm-hmm.
So these outside forces,
Mm-hmm.
yes, if you go to a teacher that
Mm-hmm.
you know that can help
Mm-hmm.
you need him to help you control your mind.
Mm-hmm.
I hope I'm saying this right. There's still going to be a mind control because you're going to pick up the information from them.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's what you're there for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Programming.
Yeah,
So one way or
programming.
another, that's just how we're designed. It's
Mm-hmm.
not good or bad.
Yeah. Also, the way how we are used to see the food, you are reprogramming it, but in the good way because
hmm
usually food they kill us. Yeah, it's
hmm
like it's not normal eating that much, and then
Right.
yeah, it's not normal. But
Right.
we used to think it's normal, but now you are reprogramming it.
hmm To go to another food source to know
Mhm.
that I can.
Mhm.
So when a person comes on this journey, all right, they got to
Mhm.
get deprogrammed and
Mhm.
reprogrammed.
Mhm.
Go off of one mind control
Mhm.
into another.
Mhm.
Or did I say that? Yeah, still
Mhm.
a mind control.
Yeah, to build our future self or higher self, something like that.
These words again is our
Or
higher
maybe
self.
like
Where's my higher
to be
self?
closer to source or something like that.
You just want to
Yeah.
better yourself.
Better. Okay.
Better yourself. And we
Mm-hmm.
use that word higher self. You are who you are.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
but this is good because when we get with people and get a real good understanding, so it won't be way out here a
Mhm.
breatharian without eating the food, because there's
Mhm.
many people who think they know what it is,
Mhm.
and they're going to do the journey themselves,
Mhm.
and you don't know what we're talking about. So they
Mhm.
try to fast their way in, which
Mhm.
causes harm to themselves, their loved
Mhm.
ones, and everything else,
Mhm.
because they're leaving one fuel source
Mhm.
and didn't build up another one.
Mhm.
And of course, people's ego or programming,
Mhm.
the angel's going to help me.
Mhm.
God knows I'm a good person and going to
Mhm.
sustain me. This don't got nothing to do with it.
Mhm.
You got to know what you're doing. This is a technology.
Mhm.
Just like losing weight, there's a
Okay.
method on losing weight.
Mhm. So you are living on the breatharian journey over 20 years, yeah?
Yep.
Over 20 years.
Hmm.
Okay. And then how it feels like, how was it? Like, I mean, like you mentioned about like you used to you get rid of the meat first, and then you tried avocado, and then it was good, and then
Hmm.
after it was bad. Like I
Yeah.
mean, and
Well,
but have you feel that how all that feeling goes, and then have you feel that avocado, I don't know, something.
well, as you're
Have you?
describing it, people are actually going to take this like that's
Mhm.
the process. I must go eat that first. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So let me make it plain
Mhm.
on why I made certain choices for me.
Mhm. Okay. Yes, please.
So one minute I'm eating everything that I'm thinking is normal. My favorite meal was steak,
Mhm.
Salisbury steak and gravy, which
Mhm.
is heavy. It's just
Mhm.
heavy. It's a
Mhm.
food source.
Mhm.
Not judging it's good or bad. It was
Mhm.
just too much.
Mhm.
But I'm thinking 3 meals a day, that
Mhm.
programming, mind control, and that's being successful. You're doing your thing. But as my health started getting bad,
Mhm.
when you start feeling problems in your body,
Mhm.
then you know it's time to make changes. Because
Mhm.
why make changes if there's no problems?
Mhm.
So as I changed diets,
Mhm.
I just knew I had to go to something that was lighter. I
Mhm.
knew I had to back up from the table. I knew better than I'm sitting there getting obese. And
Mhm.
everybody knows in order to lose weight, don't eat as much as you did before.
Mhm.
So I had to apply that.
Mhm.
Now you say, how do I feel without being mythical?
Mhm.
Man, I felt great losing all that weight. I
Mhm.
could walk up the steps without getting tired. You got more energy. I wasn't snoring in my sleep anymore. All of that has something to do with it. So you're happier throughout the day. You could treat other people differently and you could do more. So
Yeah.
that changes your whole life right there.
Yeah, I see it from you, you know? You constantly talking, teaching us, even not eating.
All
but
day.
but you are eating air. I know it
Right,
now. You thought
right.
us how it works. Yeah, and then you're always happy. You seem
Hmm.
always happy and lots of energy. When
Lots
you
of
are
energy.
happy, like we are happy around.
Right. So going back to the
Mhm.
avocados or the other diet
Mhm.
change, but at the same time, we're meditating, we're cultivating, you're getting a lot more energy. But then that food start feeling uncomfortable. The
Mhm.
reason being is when you start meditating and really know
Mhm.
how to channel energy,
Mhm.
that start becoming another fuel source that's coming in that needs to move,
Mhm.
and the food start feeling uncomfortable. That's what
Mhm.
we mean by raising your vibration.
Mhm. Raising a
My
vibration.
vibration
Mhm.
started raising. What
Mhm.
that means is my molecules were made of molecules
Mhm.
are moving faster.
Mhm. Moving faster.
It is
Mhm.
moving faster than the food you're eating.
Mhm.
So that's why it feels uncomfortable.
Mhm.
Oh, we got to break it down. Do that make sense? You can see that.
Mhm.
So the avocados, after a while, started feeling uncomfortable. So
Mhm.
you start trying to find something that another fuel source
Mhm.
that you can feel comfortable with.
Mhm.
Or if you do have a fuel source, don't eat as many as before.
Mhm.
So you can let the energy start taking over more and running faster through the body.
Mhm.
Because, like what I was showing y'all last night, each organ
Mhm.
in the body has its own energy channels to go
Mhm.
directly to it.
Yeah. Also, that information that our brain uses most energy.
Yeah.
And can you explain that again? Because that was awesome information.
All right. When you deal with all the different organs in the
Uh huh.
body, the brain uses the most energy.
Mhm.
About 20% of all the energy in your body goes to the brain. But
Mhm.
the brain is like the master unit of the whole body.
Mhm.
It's the one giving the orders. So, of
Mhm.
course, it's using a lot of energy, but it has no place to store the energy.
Mhm.
But it's going to get its energy from somewhere from the body.
Mhm.
So what we're saying is when you're meditating, you're doing breath work, you're getting more energy
Mhm.
into the body, you're actually nourishing the brain.
Mhm.
And if the brain is happy, if it
Mhm.
got its energy, the rest of the body's happy.
Mhm.
So that's why fasting is just temporary on this
Mhm.
journey. Try to fast your way in, because if the brain is not getting this energy that it was getting before, it's going to
Mhm.
start getting it from the reserves of the body.
Mhm.
It started getting the fat. You will lose weight.
Mhm.
It'll start going to different proteins and
Mhm.
carbohydrates,
If
breaking
you
them
are
down.
not doing the meditation.
Right. You're going to
Mhm.
lose weight regardless,
Okay.
because you're going to a lighter food
Uh
source.
huh.
Because I've seen on this journey people that was overweight saying that they're breatharian.
Mhm.
Well, you could be at a level, I'll give you credit, you're breathing. But that's
Mhm.
not what we're talking about.
Mhm.
You're going to lose weight. Right.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
that's good. You'll get
Mhm.
to your proper weight. See,
Mhm.
there was a time I was up, what, going to like 90 kilograms, which is 190 pounds up in there,
Mhm.
and I'm 5'7".
Mhm.
That was a lot of weight for my structure.
Mhm.
But then when I start losing weight, and where I'm at now, it's like 130, 50 something kilograms.
Mhm.
That's what I maintain now.
Mhm.
Now that's like night and day, but I'm a whole nother person,
Mhm.
whole nother mindset, whole
Mhm.
nother energy.
Mhm.
So right there, when you asked about changes, that right
Mhm.
there speak volumes.
Volumes.
Hmm.
What's that?
Volumes mean books,
Mhm.
whole nother levels.
Mhm.
This is two different worlds.
Mhm.
Now, one world where you're losing days, missing days because you're aching and paining and feeling sick.
Yeah. Mhm.
You
That's
missing
true.
whole days. You're
Mhm.
you're you're destroying your life,
Mhm.
and it's over
Mhm.
those bad habits
Mhm.
that you did.
Mhm. That we are choosing.
So
Yeah.
going back to mind control
Mhm.
and ego and all of
Mhm.
that, the breatharian journey makes you take responsibility
Responsibility.
instead of
Okay.
blaming the world.
Yeah, that's right. That's the main key, I
I
think.
didn't
To
go to the
to
government,
yeah.
and say, you fed me Kool-Aid and you fed me bad Salisbury steak and
Mhm.
gravy. No, it was heavy on the system, man. I did it too much and all this other stuff.
Mhm.
So I transformed without blaming nobody. That
Mhm.
was me. I did that.
Yeah. Maybe it's how that we are growing, yeah,
Hmm.
like starting to not blaming others and
Right.
taking action for.
Taking action and
Mhm.
doing, and in order to become a breatharian, to
Mhm.
eat very little or none at all, you got to take responsibility to understand the practices,
Yeah.
what they're really for. Now I
Mhm.
know there's breatharians out there talking about, still the magic and superstition. They
Mhm.
woke up one day and just decided, and
Mhm.
they were sustained by the universe. That's good poetry, but that's not science.
Mhm.
We Tell me, how did you transition to get this other energy source to become more dominant than the other one
Mhm.
that you were living off of?
Mhm.
This is what we need to hear, and this
Mhm.
is what I teach and
Mhm.
take people through the experience, because you've been
Mhm.
experiencing it. And
Mhm.
if you keep working with that, you're
Mhm.
going to grow energetically,
Mhm.
which means spiritually.
Mhm.
I hope that makes sense.
It makes sense.
And that's
That's
that's user
wonderful.
friendly for all human beings.
Mhm. Also, I do have one more question. Why you started from breatharian path? Because lots of people they are starting their spiritual growth like through yoga or maybe through books, starting to Uh,
Oh, but I didn't start at the breatharian path. See, there
oh,
was a
how
time
was
I
it
was a
then?
minister in the church, and for me, that was spirituality.
Oh, okay.
So, but it taught me a lot of good things, not so much of the belief system,
Mhm.
but showing up, being on time for different studies, and uh, prayer time.
Mhm.
I was one of those persons that really took it seriously. So every day at noon, I prayed. In the morning, I'll pray, because
Mhm.
that's how I was being trained and taught. So I was one of those that just wasn't believing. I
Mhm.
was actually in the mix, taking it on.
Mhm.
So when I went to other things, when I left that belief system, but
Mhm.
I still took those other qualities with me. So when
Mhm.
I meditate every day now, that was
Mhm.
developed from praying every day.
Okay.
See how it just evolved into something else, but the foundation is still the same. It's
Uh-huh.
energy work.
Okay.
And even back then, I knew if I prayed before I started my day, it went a lot better. Now, right now, prayer is different to me, because I don't need to beg the universe on what I need. But
Mhm.
at the same time, I know it's energy work by me accumulating my thoughts in the day before I started. the day
Mhm.
becomes a lot better
Mhm.
on how I spend my energy.
Mhm.
So all belief systems, everybody's working with energy.
Mhm.
It's just their belief on how they're using it. Me,
Mhm.
I just over time went straight to the point.
Mhm.
Okay, if I need a fuel source, okay, I could get it from uh, eating meat. That is
Mhm.
a fuel source. Let's act like it
Mhm.
ain't. I could get it from these plants. That's a fuel
Mhm.
source. But where do they get their fuel source?
Mhm.
So that's why we started off this thing saying the sun is the
Mhm.
primary energy source of this planet. Let me go straight to the source.
Mhm. That's awesome.
That's it.
Mhm.
And everybody know what the source is. Let's act like it we don't, because
Mhm.
we're living off of it.
Mhm.
Most people just in denial again to represent belief systems, and that's okay.
Mhm.
But that's how your life going to be
Mhm.
compared to having another freedom. Because the benefits is, first of all, you save money.
Mhm.
You got plenty of energy to do things.
Mhm.
Uh, you don't get sick like that.
Mhm.
Um, you got more room in your house because you could turn your kitchen into something else.
Uh-huh.
You save way more time.
Mhm.
That takes a lot of time to go buy the food, go track it down, go cook it, and all this other stuff. Even if you ordered food, that takes time. So, I mean, it gives your life so much more time. You could do so many more things. I'm doing things now I would have never dreamed I can do because I got the
Mhm.
energy to do
Yeah, that's true. And
it.
I see it. You have huge knowledge of everything. I mean, huge information of everything. And then when you're when you're explaining things, it's like, okay, yeah, that's true. Like, there is a no, yeah.
That's what I like. I like getting straight to
Mhm.
the root cause of something.
Mhm.
So, like we was teaching yesterday about, okay, when I was living that life, gaining more weight, losing energy, feeling sick, and it start messing with your relationships, messing with your jobs,
Mhm.
messing with your incomes. It does
And then the
eventually.
same circle actually.
The circle get bigger. It
Mhm.
affects your whole life.
Mhm.
So I had to get what, as I've started developing and changing,
Mhm.
what is the root cause of all this going on?
Mhm.
And I had to look at food for what it really is.
Mhm.
Now, I'm not demonizing the physical food
Mhm.
because I did do those different diet changes and got
Mhm.
improvements on
Mhm.
each one. But now I got to take it to another level. What's the root cause of putting me to sleep? Because whatever you take
Mhm.
does take a lot of energy to digest it.
Mhm.
It's putting me to sleep. And then what energy source is that using? Can I
Mhm.
tap into that? So that's
Mhm.
why meditation, energy cultivation is so important. And I stand by
That's wonderful.
that.
Also, one more question. Energy cultivation. I know that word cultivation, but still, can you explain it?
Well, cultivation
How it
is
like works?
sort of like these plants back
Mhm.
here. And you're a farmer, it's a farmer's
Mhm.
word or a gardener.
Mhm.
So in order to plant your garden, you got to tool up the soil.
Mhm.
You have to get the soil ready first.
Mhm.
Now, in esoteric knowledge, the
Mhm.
earth and the soil represents your skin, the
Okay.
bones.
Mhm.
So even when you start moving and stretching,
Mhm.
you're tooling up the soil. In other words, the energy can start stretching is good for you.
Mhm.
You start breathing better. So it's sort of like when I was working with the physical soil,
Mhm.
you're working with your body, which we call the soil.
Mhm.
You see that comparison?
Mhm.
So that's step number one.
Okay.
Now, next we got to plant the seeds.
Okay.
Plant them the new seeds that we want
Mhm.
to plant.
Mhm.
So now you're getting new information
Mhm.
because I couldn't go off of my old information. I want to cultivate myself to
Mhm.
plant a new harvest, a new garden.
Mhm.
So I need new seeds. I need new information. My
Mhm.
old information that wasn't serving me no more.
Mhm.
I got to be big enough and don't be afraid to leave it alone.
Mhm. Wonderful. Mhm.
To plant some new seeds now.
Mhm.
And it's not like those new seeds, I really understand them all at once because
Mhm.
it's new.
Mhm.
So now we're about to cultivate. It's new.
Mhm. Mhm.
So now you got to give it time to grow in you. This is
Mhm.
what but as the seed is growing and coming up through the earth,
Mhm.
the next stage of cultivation, being a gardener or a farmer,
Mhm.
you got to protect it
Okay.
so it could grow properly. Protect it from what? Other weeds that'll grow and kill it.
Mhm.
Um, Other animals that come get it. They
Mhm.
hungry too. They coming to eat your food.
Mhm.
Other people will come get your food.
Mhm.
So you put a fence around it or whatever, or get some guards. Yeah, you got to guard your stuff. So what
Mhm.
that means to make the comparison, as you get your new knowledge growing, you'll have people around you who throw negativity at it. Oh, you can't do that. Oh,
Mhm.
that don't make sense. That's
Mhm.
stupid and all of
Mhm.
this. But you got to kind of boom, boom,
Mhm.
you're cultivating yourself and you're
Mhm.
working with it. And
Mhm.
every day you come out and check that plant because I
Mhm.
used to do gardens and see
Mhm.
other people.
Mhm.
You're checking and making sure it's growing properly. So as you get stronger and stronger energetically, your harvest is coming up. The fruit
Mhm.
is coming up on the work you put in. So we
Mhm.
use that word energy cultivation,
Mhm.
which is spiritual cultivation.
Mhm.
We just use the word energy now because we're in this age that we're in. Spirit is just a word. And spirit was not always the word that was used for humanity, no way. Spirit is just the air.
Mhm.
This is where the air, if you say, where's the spirit?
Mhm.
It's here right now. It's
Mhm.
the air. It's
Mhm.
going around us and through us. And when
Mhm.
we cultivate and work with the energy, where did it come from? Did
Mhm.
some spirit over there say, oh, they're cultivating, let me go visit them? Ah, they called me.
Oh,
No.
no, okay.
Ah, but that's our superstition mindset. And it's sad that 2024 people still got that superstitious mindset. That's
Mhm.
okay. But anyway, for those who don't, like myself, yeah. So cultivation, you're working with your body, you're working with the air around you, you're working with the energy that's flowing through you. There is energy channels or you wouldn't be moving.
Mhm.
So you're expanding them, you're making sure they're flowing properly, and that's how you get more energy.
Mhm.
That's at the next level of eating. A
Mhm.
holistic lifestyle is living a lifestyle that's giving you better energy flow, which is nourishment.
Mhm.
And it has no special name like prana,
Mhm.
chi.
Mhm.
And I just break it down. It comes from the
Uh-huh.
sun.
Uh-huh.
Ah, or we wouldn't have this atmosphere.
Mhm.
Ah,
Cosmic energy.
cosmic energy.
Mhm.
And that's
All of them.
I'm
Mhm.
glad you understand that. That's the energies that's coming off the planet
Mhm.
that's giving it life or it wouldn't exist. So you could
Mhm.
call that God if we really
Mhm.
wanted to get into a real uh, debate. But we don't even need that word. We don't
Mhm.
need debates. It
Mhm.
is what it is.
Mhm.
Oh man, this is good.
Yeah, that's good.
Ah, so we explained it as much as possible because that's what it's about when you're teaching. When you're teaching, we see in pictures. Humans see in pictures. So what you want to do is create something that not only they can see,
Mhm.
but they can actually do it.
Mhm.
See, some teachings, they'll give you something because our minds is imaginative,
Mhm.
that you probably could see it.
Mhm.
Like I could say right now that there is a plane flying and it got wings like a bird. Now
Mhm.
you can see that in your mind, but is that real? Is that
Mhm.
true? Did we ever? No.
Mhm.
But when you explain to somebody a plane is flying and it got its wings, but they're a different color than the plane,
Mhm.
all right, you can see that also, but you know that it exists. Because when you've been to airports before and stuff like that, but they have planes like a bird, you got to prove that to me.
Mhm.
So faith allows spirituality to get away without evidence.
Mhm.
But when you're on the scientific spirituality, bring
Mhm.
us evidence.
Okay. But actually, I do have a question.
Yeah.
So we are souls, yeah? We are souls wearing this body.
First you said we're eagles, now we're souls. See how you playing the, well, that's good.
But yeah, because before I used to think myself as my body,
Hmm.
and there was lots of ego in there, like lots of scared to die, blah blah blah, so that kind of stuff. And then I grew up of like when I started studying the spirituality, I realized that we are souls coming to this earth wearing these clothes like as a body. Maybe like I want to know your opinion also. And then like it's my in imagination or wherever it is, but I think like we are souls from other stars, like so many places, and collected we are collected here. We forgot our like meaning
Right.
through purpose, and we are here
Well,
in like in earth.
well, that doctrine you're teaching, that came out about the early 1900s, the end of the 1800s.
But what do you think about this?
Well,
Do you think you are from other star? like from different star?
It ain't about thinking. We're going to reality. I'm a truth person.
Mm-hmm.
I
Okay.
know who my mother is.
Uh-huh.
Fortunate, thank you.
Uh-huh.
I know who my father is.
Uh-huh.
I was born on earth. I'm glad
Uh-huh.
they took care of me.
Uh-huh.
All right. So now, like I said, we're in a good age because
Mm-hmm.
when a lot of that stuff came out,
Uh-huh.
they didn't
Yeah.
have the technology we had now.
Mm-hmm.
So it was all debates. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like the New Age movement will say we got auras around us, but the average person would say, "What you mean an aura?
Mm-hmm.
You know, what are you talking about?" They're
Mm-hmm.
saying the energy coming off of you. You don't see how people play with words, but now it's an electromagnetic field.
Mm-hmm.
So we got equipment that can see it. Now we got equipment that can see it and describe it.
Mm-hmm.
Like when we saw those videos I showed y'all, and it's
Mm-hmm.
showing you the body and its energy channels going through it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we see in another one where it's showing
Yeah, you explained that our bodies have our subconscious mind,
right.
right? Mm-hmm.
So wouldn't we have the technology to be able to see the soul?
I don't know.
It ain't about we don't know. We can. We're seeing energies now.
Okay.
Like the radio waves is going through the atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
We know they exist now,
Mm-hmm.
even though you can't see it. But we
Mm-hmm.
could go measure it.
Okay.
So there's nobody on this planet, not nobody,
Mm-hmm.
who said this is the soul and we measured it
Mm-hmm.
because it don't exist. See, there's
Mm-hmm.
even a time in human history that's recent
Mm-hmm.
where all they did was took one word and made up another one.
Mm-hmm.
It's made up.
Okay.
It's just energy flowing through your body. Why we got to be mythical with it?
But
Let's make it plain.
but what do you think about that theory that we are came from different stars here to
Well,
experience the
the energy that's around us, this atmosphere, if
mm-hmm.
it's being fueled by our primary energy source, which
Mm-hmm.
is the sun,
Mm-hmm.
that same energy is coming through your body. The same energy, not
Mm-hmm.
nothing different.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, technically, we could
Mm-hmm.
say that's solar energy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just now look at that word, solar energy, soul.
Mm-hmm.
See the play on words?
Uh-huh.
It's solar energy coming through you. This
Mm-hmm.
is why I'm a breatharian. And it
Mm-hmm.
got nothing to do with my soul or what you're talking about. It don't exist. See, I had
Mm-hmm.
to break belief systems like that in order to be where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
There's no argument because you're just saying what's your thought or your belief. I
Mm-hmm.
have none with it. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
truth seeker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
You're basically a bunch of neurons,
Mm-hmm.
neurotransmitters,
Mm-hmm.
and chemical reactions taking part in your body.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you are
Mm-hmm.
in your body. That's your body. It ain't like
Mm-hmm.
you're separate from it. The breatharian knowledge is teaching mind body connection. What makes us think you're just something else animating the body?
Okay, then I do
No,
have one more another question.
no.
then I do
Who
have
told you that?
then I do have other question.
Yeah,
So what happens when we die?
you're just going back to everything else like any other animal. We don't give other animals credit. What happened to an ant when it dies? It got a family, it got a brain, but we don't look at that as us. Why? Because we're arrogant. There's other life forms. So is there going to heaven or another place? Or am I going to come back a better ant? Don't worry, you won't remember. You didn't
Mm-hmm.
remember when you were born.
Mm-hmm.
Now I know there's people out there that got books saying, I remember my last night. They're lying. There was one boy who made a lot of money off of that, and years later he admitted he made it up.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get real with it. There's no evidence.
Mm-hmm.
I go off of evidence and truth.
Mm-hmm. So basically you are kinda scientifically like
There's
scientist
which means
and
knowledge.
then yeah, no yeah, that's
And
wonderful.
there's nothing wrong with that. This is your life. This is why I try to tell people live your best life ever.
Mm-hmm.
It's your turn.
But I do have one more
You're
question
not your
again.
grandmother. You're not your great great grandmother. You're you at this time. If we were to take you and put you in another body, that would no longer be you.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah?
Uh,
How about my conscious mind? If they put my conscious mind in another body,
That's not going to be you
why?
because it has a whole nother chemical reaction going on. You're just chemicals just making you you.
Hmm.
That's not you. You're
Okay.
you.
Okay.
I'm me. We
okay.
got everybody got their own signatures.
Okay.
And to change your signature, going back to my story, all right, that other person Listen how I said that, which was me,
Mhm.
but I changed my chemical composition of my physical body. It changed my thinking. It changed my energy. That was me, but this is the new me. If there's any reincarnation, this is it.
Okay.
But before me, I'm not my father.
Uh-huh.
I'm not my grandfather.
Mhm.
I'm not my great great grandfather before him and them and them. But I got attributes that leads all the way up to here. But this is my turn. This is me.
Mhm.
Why can't we get this? Because
Okay.
we're afraid to die still. You want an explanation and a reason what life's about.
Mhm.
But just be real with it. No, this is your turn. It's
Mhm.
okay. You're everything anyway.
Then I do have one more question, please. Can I? So how about the blockages? Because in Mongolian culture or in the other places too, people explain, okay, maybe I do have a fear of the knife, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and then I can see the knife, and then some people explain it like maybe in your previous life you were killed by a knife, and now you do have that fear, and 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 that's why you have some blockages on your eyes when you are seeing the knife, and once you are realizing that from my past life I do have that trauma, it's go away.
All right. Well, let's talk about epigenetics. There was a woman
Mhm.
who was adopted. She grew up, in a nice family,
Mhm.
but she never knew who her mother or her father was.
Okay.
So when she got older, she
Mhm.
went to go look for him.
Mhm.
All right. But before then, she was already a vegan. That's what life she was in.
Mhm.
But even though she was a vegan,
Mhm.
deep down inside,
Mhm.
she used to love to eat barbecue ribs.
Okay. Why is that?
Well, she don't know why.
Okay.
But even though she's a vegan,
Mhm.
that's her own personal life.
Mhm.
I do kind of crave that.
Okay.
Everybody got their little secret faces.
Mhm.
Let's be real with that.
Okay.
But deep down inside, even though
Uh-huh.
she won't tell it to her vegan friends, and even though she wasn't eating it,
Mhm.
it's it's there.
Mhm.
She knows it.
Mhm.
So she goes to go try to find her mother, but her mother's passed away, but she sees her mother's sister.
Mhm.
At least she's happy she saw her mother's sister.
Mhm.
So now her mother's sister, they're talking, they're getting to know each other, and her mother's sister said, and your mother used to sure love barbecue ribs.
Mhm.
She never met her mother, but the information
Mhm.
went from the mother to the daughter.
Mhm.
So they call that epigenetics.
Okay, epigenetics.
So there's traits that we're
Mhm.
getting from our parents, our
Mhm.
grandparents,
Mhm.
and both positive and negative. So
Mhm.
you could be dealing with certain things that just got passed through the line.
Mhm.
And it had nothing to you having a past life back here.
Mhm.
Because like I said, that's not you.
Mhm.
Even if you was growing up in another time in another culture, that wouldn't be you.
Mhm.
Even if you grew up in a place where you had another first language, that
Mhm.
wouldn't be you.
Okay.
Let's be real with it. No, you are who you are, but it's
Mhm.
an accumulation of information that passed through.
Mhm.
That make more sense.
Okay.
That other stuff, no.
Mhm.
But humanity made up those stories because they didn't have the information we had now. So
Mhm.
you did the best you can back then to make up stories to try to make things fit. Ignorance. But ignorance need to be shared. You don't need to keep carrying it when you got more data.
Mhm.
I go off of data and facts.
Mhm.
Okay, we got more proof here
Mhm.
that don't carry weight. Just like the mind and the body. Right now, there's ever overwhelming evidence.
Mhm.
Right now in 2024, that
Mhm.
the mind and body are already connected. A lot of people don't know that memo still.
Mhm.
They think they could think one thing and it won't affect the body and all this other stuff.
Mhm.
There's overwhelming evidence that shows that that's true.
Okay.
So you got to go with that if
Mhm.
you're a truth seeker.
Mhm.
If you're not a truth seeker, nah, my mind is da da da. There's people that'll do that. It's okay. But
Mhm.
that's what a person want to hang on to a belief
Mhm.
for whatever reason.
Mhm. So I do have one more question then. How about the psychic? So some psychics, they can read the people past, right? Like I do watch some Russian I don't know, psychic battle, something like that.
Hmm.
And then they just like uh you know do that, and then okay, I see your this one at the age of the 16 you were like that, you blah blah blah, like something like that. The psychic, they're seeing, they can read their minds, people mind. It's also
I know what
esoteric
you're saying.
knowledge. Yeah, what do you think about that then?
No.
No, also
Reason
no.
being is, all right, we as humanity coming from a lot of ignorance, and people took advantage of that ignorance.
Mhm.
And there's a man named Richard Dawkins. Yeah,
Mhm.
he was still is one of the world's leading atheists, which is okay.
Mhm.
It's cool, you learn a lot from him.
Mhm.
But he went to go get different psychics. Okay, let's go
Mhm.
get them.
Mhm.
And tell me this, tell me that,
Mhm.
tell me that. It don't show up like that.
Mhm.
Not one. It's not accurate. Now, there is a thing called code reading you can learn. Code reading is when, all right, let's say, for instance, one time I was selling newspapers,
Mhm.
and this one guy, sales guy, really taught me a lot on
Mhm.
how to sell newspapers.
Okay.
So I see this woman with her two children, and I want to sell these subscriptions.
Mhm.
And I say, "Oh, you want to buy the newspaper?" No, not right now. And I said, "But you know what? Every Tuesday they got the coupon section,
Mhm.
and you could get save all of this money, blah blah blah." Because I know she got two children, she want to save money for food, so I'll show that to her. But I was cold reading because I knew she had two children,
Mhm.
and she really wanted to get the best deal to raise her family.
Mhm.
I see another guy with a race car hat on. So I got the newspaper wanting to sell it. No, I don't want to buy it. I said, but every Thursday they got the NASCAR section in and blah, blah, blah. It's updated. It's one of the best in the world. I cold read because I knew he had that hat on. So that showed me his interest. So I was able to play off of it.
Mhm.
Same thing with psychics.
Hmm.
And half of the things they say is wrong,
Mhm.
but our minds, when they do hit something that's closer that's right, you forget everything they had wrong. And
Mhm.
you say, man, they got me right there. That's what we
Hmm.
do. And there's so much evidence on it
So
now.
there is a no, like there is a no possibility, for example, like just feeling that this house, and then saying like okay, four people in there, like there is not
Oh,
that kind of
no,
ability in
that's
there.
two different things. You just we talked about the one about somebody reading somebody's mind, and
Mhm.
we could call that street game. We do that all the time. Street game is humans are very manipulative creatures.
Okay.
Okay, let's be real with it,
Oh yeah, that's true.
and that's our nature.
Mhm.
Manipulation don't mean evil or bad. That's what we do.
Even sometimes feels like people want to be manipulated.
Here we go.
Mhm.
Now, what you're saying is going back to our energy field.
Mhm.
Everyone has one on their body, like a bubble.
Mhm.
All right.
Mhm.
So just like how me and you are in contact right now,
Mhm.
our energy fields are overlapping.
Mhm.
So there is, and I know you've been in places where it seemed like you were thinking something and somebody else
Mhm.
brought it up and stuff, because we are exchanging energy.
Mhm.
Because your thoughts are the first phase of physical matter.
Mhm.
So does that exist all the time?
Mhm.
That's why they say your subconscious create your reality,
Mhm.
because your thoughts is going all through your body because they're connected, and it's
Mhm.
coming off of the body. So
Mhm.
of course, if something is like interest,
Mhm.
it ain't magical. It's
Mhm.
going to meet each other. But
Mhm.
we need a story around it. I knew this was about to happen, and God was with me, and la
Mhm.
la la la.
Mhm.
But it's just the energy was, the time was right
Mhm.
on what both of y'all were looking for.
Maybe vibrations. They want same vibration.
Like one man, yep,
Mhm.
man, I want to learn more about the breatharian knowledge and la 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 la.
Mhm.
And I'm way over here, and I don't really have plans to come over there. But at the same time, I'm living a life where I'm freed up,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So he said, and I just said, I decided to, well, let me set this up and see, blah blah blah. And I happened to be open at that moment,
Mhm.
and it all just came together. But our energy fields both wanted the same thing,
Mhm.
so it's going to meet, of course.
Mm-hmm. But actually, that's true because I remember when I was in America, my path also started from a breatharian knowledge,
Hmm.
and then I saw you on YouTube, and
Right,
then I saw your announcement also like that your retreat on Arizona, and
right,
I wanted to go there, but I couldn't.
right.
Now in Mongolia, you are here,
Here I am.
like after so many years. I'm finally in Mongolia,
Right.
and now in
I'm way in
this year
Mongolia.
you are here. It's so
Right.
magical.
Now, we was to give it a story.
Uh-huh.
See, for you, it's magical. You
Mm-hmm.
know, for me, it is too.
Uh-huh.
But that's the story we need.
Mm-hmm.
To act like there was other forces, you know, and God knew the right location.
Mm-hmm.
But on reality, we were doing it because
We were
that's what
doing
we are
it.
looking for. Because like energies attract on interest.
But you explained it so right, like okay, sun is our mind, like it's our resource of
Yeah.
energy, but we can consider God as energy too.
Right.
And then if the energy is everywhere and also inside us, then it means God inside us also, we are inside God.
We say it all the time.
Yeah. And then
There you go.
yeah.
See how you're putting the dots together?
Mm-hmm.
And the other things that's around it, those are
Mm-hmm.
good questions. You'll look at it now, you don't need it no more. I'm not trying to hate or
Mm-hmm.
different things, but
Mm-hmm.
that, those were created at a certain time where people didn't know what we know now.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need it now. That's the hard part for people to let go of tradition.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's all we're saying.
Tradition, religion.
Yeah.
Yeah, because people want to be, yeah, somewhere, like to be, yeah, and then they still want religion, but actually we don't really have to have a religion. We need
Right.
to believe in ourselves, yeah.
Right. Which is, and on the unity consciousness, believing yourself is believing in others
Mm-hmm.
because we're social creatures.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's energy going back to that, is
Mm-hmm.
fueling our bodies and this and that, is fueling everybody else's body. So then you can see our connection.
Mm-hmm.
That makes a whole change the whole different ball game.
Mm-hmm.
It's down to earth. It's more real.
Mm-hmm.
There's facts behind it, data behind it. I'd
Mm-hmm.
rather go with that than call on a name that we never saw.
Mm-hmm. So okay, so you said it's possible to read behind the walls, how many people
Oh,
in
without
there?
a doubt. Now, how energy works, it
Mm-hmm.
does work with impressions.
Mm-hmm.
You can feel impressions.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of like, give you an example. One day I went to go see a friend, and
Mm-hmm.
as I sat by him, it felt kind of,
Mm-hmm.
uneasy, but they were angry about something.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew that
Mm-hmm.
before they even opened up their mouth and told me the story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's just step number one,
Mm-hmm.
because our energy fields that do give off
Mm-hmm.
certain frequencies.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you can become good at it,
Mm-hmm.
not about reading nobody's mind, but you
Mm-hmm.
can kind of feel somebody's energy
Mm-hmm.
on is it at a higher or lower octave? Is it
Mm-hmm.
for you or against you? You know what I
Mm,
mean?
yes.
So that's what we're saying.
Mm-hmm.
You can get good at reading the energy impressions. So
Mm-hmm.
I did play around one time where a friend of mine, I knew their energy.
Mm-hmm.
And I was at their house, and instead of going up, knocking on the
Mm-hmm.
door, I knew they wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
So you can play that game.
Mm-hmm.
It be accurate at it, but that takes practice.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of things you could practice. That's just deeper levels of energy work, but it's not magical. It ain't
Mm-hmm.
no gift of a psychic and one person has this gift. It ain't
Mm-hmm.
like that at all. Most of it is cold reading and all this other stuff. And
But I noticed that when you work with your blockages, with your ego stuff, with your emotional stuff,
mhm,
and when you get rid of it, healing it, you starting to feel it. Like when other people do still do have it, you feeling it. You
mhm,
feeling that frequency. How
mhm.
you say it? Like
Well, well, let's make it
you
make
feel,
sense.
yeah. You know how jealousy feels.
Yeah,
Yeah, and that's it. And
that's it.
it feels like you are reading their mind.
Hmm. That's
Yeah,
what it is.
even verbally they're saying different thing, you're
Mm-hmm.
feeling it, you're
Feel
feeling
something totally
how
different.
that people, how that person is so
Hmm.
controlling, or
Right,
maybe so jealous, or
right.
maybe angry even though they're not saying it.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it feels like you are reading
you can straight
someone.
feel that.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is something, ain't it?
Mm-hmm.
Even when I'm traveling, I'm trekking through Africa, because I fully trust my body because it is
Mm-hmm.
my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And there's times that the energy just don't feel right going that way,
Mm-hmm.
and without even thinking about it, I'll just go the other way because
Mm-hmm.
you're in your body now.
Mm-hmm.
But you said the key words: the more the energy is flowing, the more your energy field is out. Um, you could feel better impressions because your
Mm-hmm.
body is not numbed up. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of it is food numbed it up in different
Mm-hmm.
places. You can't feel that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, this is good.
Also, from your from a practice that you taught us, the one thing really, like, got me. You say it like I was feeling the blockage on my back, like, and I didn't know how to heal it, and then how, like, I was like moving it, not really concentrating on it. But
Right.
you said, like, if you will be on that position for 2 or 3 hours, it's
Hmm.
gonna go away, right?
Right.
Yeah, that
Ah,
was wonderful.
this is good. And it moved itself. See,
Uh-huh.
the body does a balancing act. It
Mhm.
always try to balance itself out. And
Mhm.
if you give it time in the right
Mhm.
position, that's what
Mhm.
meditation is teaching us.
Mhm.
All you're doing is learning how to relax, let
Mhm.
the body release, and
Mhm.
that's where healing comes about. See, all of
Mhm.
this is simple.
Mhm.
Things is already laid out. Now I'm going to say this. You really don't, it ain't about believing in God or is there a God. That's
Mhm.
not what we're saying.
Mhm.
But you don't need a God for all of this. There is
Mhm.
nobody just looking at you every moment and let me say, let me do this for you now.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's why you need knowledge.
Yeah, it's just our desire. Yeah.
Everything's set in motion.
Mhm.
Learn how to use these energies. If you don't, it's going to go against you. And it's nobody's fault,
Mhm.
but just a lack of knowledge. Don't
Mhm.
understand how this is working.
Mhm.
Oh man, this is good.
Yeah, this is good.
Law. So any more before we depart?
Yeah, I do have a more question from you
All right.
actually, but
All right, well, go for it.
mhm. So, what's your, like, purpose of spirituality? Now you are not eating, you are breatharian, and you know how to, like, circulate your energy and everything. You are eating the air, and air is everywhere, and probably you are not gonna get older. Yeah.
Right. We're going for
So
immortality.
you wanna live mortality, you gonna achieve mortality.
Well, first, let's go so everybody can understand.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go for longevity.
What's that?
Longevity means to really live longer in a nice
Mm-hmm.
body.
But, well, why you need that?
Because I love life.
Because you love
Because,
life.
like you asked the question, well, what
Uh-huh.
happened when we die?
Uh-huh.
You're going back into nothingness. You got this chance to live. Go
Mm-hmm.
ahead and live it to your fullest.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I want it. Now, if
Okay.
I don't want to, now if you don't want to be here long, that's okay too.
Mm-hmm. But for example, okay, you want to live your life fully, and then, like, one day you decided, okay, I'm gonna live I'm gonna achieve immortality. I'm feeling good. So little bit, maybe like 2 years, I'm gonna live normal life. Maybe I'm gonna eat back. Maybe, like, do you wanna do that or not?
When
And
we
why
don't know
not?
until we get there. It
Mm-hmm.
all depends what you're creating.
Mm-hmm.
Like if a person, I knew people who, because living single and
Mm-hmm.
living in a relationship
Mm-hmm.
is two different lifestyles.
Mm-hmm.
Raising children is a whole nother lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
Having certain jobs will bring on a whole nother lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
So it all depends what you're doing in that time in life and what you want to bring forth.
Mm-hmm.
I knew one man who was living one way,
Mm-hmm.
without the eating and this and that.
Mm-hmm.
But once he got married and got a baby, that
Mm-hmm.
changed things.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's not right or wrong. Did he
Mm-hmm.
really go back? That's what
Mm-hmm.
he wanted to do, create another family.
Mm-hmm.
So food freedom wouldn't be total food freedom wouldn't be necessary for every scenario you want to create.
Mm-hmm.
It's not necessary for
Mm-hmm.
every scenario. So I don't expect the whole world to become breatharian,
Mm-hmm.
but you will know it exists.
Mm-hmm.
Did that make sense?
Mm-hmm. And then you kind of true example of it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody know it exists. So it's, well, that's them over there, or that's that person,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't feel like doing that. Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's us as humans.
Mm-hmm.
There's humans doing certain things with certain lifestyles. We know it exists now.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a time they said you needed meat in order to live.
Mm-hmm.
That was scientific. You need meat, you need your protein. People
Mm-hmm.
broke that record time and
Mm-hmm.
time again. So now we know it that exists.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, this is good, ain't it? And this knowledge ain't going nowhere soon, it's growing.
Mm-hmm.
Because when we talking about we're in the age of frequency medicine and vibrational medicine, this is actually ancient. Of course,
Mm-hmm.
people was dependent on energy work. But
Mm-hmm.
now I think we're even more advanced because you got a chance to actually master it beyond them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying this to
Mm-hmm.
master it beyond. And how should I say? Oh, there's so much. I just went somewhere. But yeah, we got a chance to master it beyond and take it to some real good things instead of guessing and making it up. Even in the scientific community, they'll tell you
Mm-hmm.
that the person who's going to live forever is living right now. This is a good age we're in. Now you
Mm-hmm.
see how I look at the world right now? The
Mm-hmm.
world is good,
Mm-hmm.
beautiful where we at. There's some
Mm-hmm.
people in the spiritual community is dark. We got no hope.
Mm-hmm.
two different minds.
Yeah, two
They were
different
living on the same
minds.
planet.
Yeah, and even it's our choice. Like when I decided to choose spiritual path, now I'm here, like around the spiritual people, and their
Mm-hmm.
minds are positive. They're like seeking
Mm-hmm.
whole different stuff, and I
Right.
feel good.
Feel
But
good.
before, when I was in a toxic environment, like
Whole different ball
yeah,
game.
it was whole different vibration.
So
I
same
was have
place, planet.
yeah, same planet, but reality is different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know that I was having anxiety, depression, not knowing what's
Right.
happening, and my mind and feeling was always in a battle because I can feel from people some different energy, but I
Mm-hmm.
was not feeling in my feeling,
Right.
and I was believing in what they're saying, but it was like like a battle, you know? They
No,
were trying to manipulate me, but in order to not believing in my feeling, I was letting them
right.
to manipulate me.
Right. Now this is good. See, what you just explained was a lot of people's journey. So you ask me, well, how does it feel to come from here to here? That's
Uh-huh.
it. Everybody goes through that.
Yeah.
From one vibration to another, one group of thinking to another.
Mhm.
Oh man. Now look how I said that. One group of thinking to another. See, we
Mhm.
even use that word spirituality still.
Mhm.
You know, that's in our vocabulary,
Mhm.
but you went into another mode of thought. Thought is spirit.
Thought is spirit.
If we want to
Mhm.
give it an, because thought is energy.
Thought is energy. That's true. We are becoming what we are thinking, yeah? That's true.
It could go on and on and on. I know in this
Uh-huh.
video, some people say, man, that guy might be in disagreements or whatever, but it's okay. It's an experience you have to grow into. There was
Mhm.
times I thought a certain way, but
Mhm.
I'm well traveled too, met many cultures, many, so
Exactly.
I'm kind of seasoned.
Yeah, yeah, me too. I think like I also like feel myself now my like level is just this level. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I want to explore everything. I want to believe in that and other in that, but I want to experience it through me.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe after like 3 years, I will be a totally different person.
You are.
Yeah,
I
and then
always tell people this.
yeah,
10 years ago, you thought totally different than you do
yeah,
now.
yeah,
So 10
exactly.
years from now,
Mhm,
you most definitely going to be thinking totally
mhm,
different.
yeah,
Don't even see it coming. Don't even know how. But it
mhm,
doesn't matter. You will be thinking different.
mhm. Yeah.
That's and then look at this.
Mhm.
When we talk about reincarnation,
Mhm.
bring that up again.
Mhm.
I tell people where I'm at now in this life,
Mhm.
I had many lives in this life.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly.
That was my reincarnation.
Mhm.
Let me leave my father's life alone. My grandfather going way back. That was their lives.
Mhm.
Many lives in one.
Mhm.
Now, on a higher level, since this energy is fueling everything,
Mhm.
this is why we say there's a unity consciousness.
Mhm.
This generation, this generation, this generation, the same energy force
Mhm.
was fueling all of it. So that's why we'll say every generation is the same generation.
Mhm. Okay.
So they don't, the universe don't need to put you way up here and make you born again. You were here,
Mhm.
but you were everybody there.
Mhm.
And it's not about you remembering it. The reason why you got here, you had to be here.
Mhm.
I hope
Mhm.
that makes sense, or you wouldn't
That
be here.
makes sense. That makes
Ah,
sense,
see how
right?
you start. You got to get to the truth so you can see.
Mhm.
Other than
Yeah.
that, you'll be playing illusion, debates, and it'll slow you down.
Mhm. Yeah. Also, I do have one more question, maybe a little bit related with this topic. So, what do you think about the Akashic records, like universal library?
Oh, again,
Mm-hmm.
they
Because
wrote.
I do believe that exists because I experience it. I experiences it.
Well, again, they wrote things in stories
Mm-hmm.
so it could survive time.
Mm-hmm.
And back then, they had to write it in that type of form.
Mm-hmm.
But today, let's bring it down to earth again.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of answering it. Both of us actually are. It's sort of like our consciousness to have this consciousness in our body. And right now, it's an overwhelming. We got overwhelming data that says the seat of consciousness is the brain,
Mm-hmm.
and the brain is the body. That's why the
Mm-hmm.
mind-body connection.
Mm-hmm.
So, as you're getting information or a new idea, or what's fueling this body, not only you
New
got the,
idea, visualization,
so
like
we could say this
create.
is consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
You're living in consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
but it's only going to deal with what can handle with the program in you. That's a whole nother
Mhm.
lesson.
Mhm.
So there is times you get an idea that was already here. So if
Yeah.
there's any library, if
Mhm.
there's any record,
Mhm.
there's information all around us.
Mhm.
So we ain't got to
Exactly.
think about no building hiding somewhere and we got
Mhm.
to go find it and start reading books.
Mhm. Yeah, but it feels also kind of like our whole universe. Universe do have the conscious mind, and when the universe thinks that wants to go to next revolution, they gave us the idea. Who can
Got the
really,
idea.
yeah, gave us the idea. Some people consider it as a dream, and when people see that idea, some people just, oh, it's not possible. It's just a dream.
Now
Yeah.
listen to what you just said. You answered a whole lot of questions other.
Mm-hmm.
That shows we're under predetermination. You don't have free will.
Yeah, it's also
I'm a
questionable.
breatharian
Mhm.
because it
Mhm.
wasn't my free will.
Mhm.
Why would the idea even come to me? See, you answered it, but you
Mhm.
want to keep that other belief system, and they both can't exist.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, thank
Okay.
you.
Well, thank you so
Ah,
much.
ah.
Appreciate appreciate you. Okay, it's time to go, right?
Law, law, yes.
Okay, la la, bye.
Well, I didn't know that time